This is a Pele Media podcast.
Welcome back to Goonies Minute, everybody. Goonies Minute is the fan podcast where we carefully explore the movie Goonies minute by minute. This is Brady.
And this is Chris.
And we're here to break down minute number 59. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and I think we should welcome a special guest.
That's right.
Who has actually been an actor in some Hollywood classics such as The Tomato That Ate New York.
Were you in The Tomato That Ate New York?
Yes.
He was.
We welcome our special guest.
Our old buddy Brandon decided to stop by with a round of beer tonight, which we definitely need because it's going to be a long night of recording. And it was.
He joined us in the Padded Cell studio.
He did. So. And I cheers this Abita strawberry to you, my friend.
I cheers this. Have you ever said that to anybody?
This? No.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I cheers this to you.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get into the minute.
Cheers to the minute.
In the previous minute, Chunk was still listing off his confessions. Ma had had enough, so she ordered Francis and Jake to shove his hand into the blender. At 59 minutes, Chunk continues to plead for them to release him. Ma screams out that she wants the truth. Suddenly, bats fly up through the fake fireplace and swarm the room. Chunk frees his hand from the blender as the Fratellis swat bats away from themselves. In a last-ditch effort, Chunk screams for Mikey to run. The Fratellis are coming for them. The Goonies have found themselves in a safer area of the caves. The Goonies turn their attention to the next room with shimmering light and sounds of water. As they make their way into the room, they see a beautiful waterfall surrounded by bright, shining coins. Mikey has finally found the rich stuff. And thus ends minute 59 of The Goonies. All right, so we see Robert Davi, who plays Jake here, looking actually pretty remorseful that they have to put Chunk's hand in the blender. Because as we saw in the previous minute, he was kind of warming up to Chunk. And so the whole time that Francis and Ma are pulling him in there, Jake is just sort of doesn't want to watch it happen.
He has a look on his face that he's not completely thrilled about it. But then again, he's not standing up to Ma or Francis either. So he's still holding on to Chunk while they're doing this, even though he might not be he might not be the one forcing the hand in the blender. But one of the questions I had is, I wonder how hard this scene was to shoot, because showing restraint or struggle to me in a situation like this wouldn't necessarily be easy to make so believable. Okay, I wonder if that blender was really on.
I don't see why not,
and if his hand was really that close, and if they were actually kind of offering restraint down there for the hand, to make it. You know what I'm talking about? To make it look real.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain level of struggle that has to be shown to make this a believable looking scene, and it's definitely believable.
And I mean, if you Jeff Cohen, who's playing Chunk, has to scream and he has to cry for real. So he's got to mentally put himself in the position. And the thing is, it's a horrifying moment. It's a horrifying situation, right. And yet it's played for laughs. As the audience, we're sitting there watching it, and we're laughing.
But a little bit of a slip, and his hand
exactly.
is
Exactly.
Mutilated.
This is easily one of the worst things I've ever seen, on film, is
for a
adults,
PG movie with kids in
especially for a kids movie. But adults, sick, criminal-minded adults trying to mutilate a child's hand, a screaming innocent child, and we're sitting here laughing at it.
Right.
I mean, think about it. If that was in an R-rated movie, we would be disgusted. We'd be mortified by it. But because it's in this family-friendly,
the only difference is a few inches. But one of the things that you'll notice is the wild look. And because we pause, what we do is when we look at this minute, we'll pause it and we'll take notes and things like that. But one of the things you'll notice when you pause movies, you'll catch somebody in a certain look in their face, look in their eye. And there was one particular time that I paused this minute, and the look in Ma's face is one of exactly what she's portraying, an absolute maniac.
Yeah.
And what a great actress this nasty woman is.
To
be able to show that anger and rage in the look in her face. It's so believable.
Every frame that woman's in, it's even when she is smiling, it's still just evil incarnate. Now, I'm wondering Because as we talked about the other day, the Fratellis are based on an actual mob family run
Right.
by the mother, Kate Barker.
What did you say? It was from the 30s or something?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
early 20th century. And I'm wondering if the actress, I can't remember the actress's name, but I'm wondering if she was privy to that, if she knew that her character was based on a real person. But I'm wondering if they told her, hey, you're based on an actual person, if she was
Yeah,
aware of that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
One thing you were going to talk about is we said something about her tattoo.
She's got a tattoo, and I looked for the meaning of the tattoo, and I couldn't find it. It's an anchor with like kind of a red banner going around it, and on the banner is written "Sun," S-O-N.
But now here's the question. Is it sun? I wonder which sun that's for. 'Cause she got 3 of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no
I bet you
idea.
it's for our boy in the dungeon.
We will see. We're going to be getting to him soon enough.
Yeah. Hey, another thing I noticed in one of these still shots, and we knew he had a ridiculous outfit, but I really looked at Chunk's outfit. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, what a
Hawaiian
clash. I mean, and I'm not exactly the Doctor's style, but I mean,
I don't know, man.
I mean, the plaid pants, the Hawaiian shirt.
Jacket.
He looks like, I wonder if John Daly got this look. The golfer John Daly.
Yeah.
He wears ridiculous outfits like this. That's who he kind of reminds me of. And actually, the size he is right there is the equivalent, the 12-year-old equivalent of John
Daly.
John Daly.
I don't know, but we've talked about before about how this location, the Fratelli's hideout, is just one or two color. It's the color palette is just black and gray, and here's this splash on this loud, obnoxious person that really stands out, and especially in these scenes where the rest of the Goonies aren't there. It's just him and these disgusting people in this disgusting place, which makes the scene, I think, that much more quirky.
And then how about the save by the bats?
Yeah, good timing.
When it's like you wonder if they would have gone through with that little blender thing, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, we'll never get to see that.
I know. There's one thing I want to see. It's bats being thrown in a blender. Now
I'm talking about his hand. That's too bad we didn't get to see that.
Oh,
right?
oh darn.
But and then I wanted to mention that though. Remember,
Yeah.
I said something about the bats with the hair.
The hair.
So
Okay.
maybe we're treating that Francis knows his stuff. Because he's like, watch out for your hair. They like that. But I think that's where I got that from.
Yeah, so like for anybody who didn't hear the other day, Chris was saying that he has heard that bats are attracted to people's hair. And in this scene, we see Francis grab his wig. It's the first time we see that he has a wig.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Yeah, which
that.
kind of, deflates the joke later on in the movie when the kids see that he has a wig and they start laughing at him for it. And so he pulls the wig off and he's like, everybody cover your hair. Bats are attracted to hair. Do you think that's where you heard this?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
I remember I said that. I said, yeah, I've always heard that. But I think I got it from this movie.
You might
I'm
have.
positive.
So, do you have anything else while we're up here in Fratelli's
not
hideout?
before we go back down to the cave.
Okay. Well, yeah, we now go back down. We're now back down with the rest of the Goonies in the cave, and they are entering one of the more interesting set pieces of the entire movie, and that's the waterfall. Not the waterfall, the fountain. The fountain? The well. The wishing well.
The wishing well.
The wishing well. That's what it is. And, of course, they don't know that at the time. It's just this, beautiful waterfall, as Mikey calls it. And there's something kind of cool here. We've seen countless times throughout the movie so far, Mikey being this driven person, just completely focused on the goal. It just walks right underneath this water, and it doesn't even faze him. Now, I know there's only really one way to get into the well area, and that's through the water that's falling, but he doesn't even realize it. He walks straight through this water, unfazed, because he finally sees all the rich stuff, as he calls it, which we find out is like nickels. But, what do you got?
Before we get to that, you see Mikey
running some game
with old Andy.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, it could get dangerous. You want to take my hand?
Mm-hmm.
And she does. Where in the world is Brother Love? Is the older brother? Where is he at?
Where is he? Why
Because
is he
he's
with her?
allowing his younger brother, his 12-year-old younger brother, to hold the hand of the girl that he's interested in. What is the deal with this guy?
Yeah.
You don't even see him.
So Brandon, that's our Brand. Yeah, that's what Brand. Yeah. What's the deal with Brand? is what you're asking.
Yeah.
Not Mikey. So it's not like, oh, the nerve. What is wrong with Mikey? The nerve, man.
No.
It's Brand. Why is he letting his little brother?
He's a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
It's not like he's 16 and he should be competition. It could be considered when a 12-year-old does that to the 17-year-old. Oh, that's cute. You can't get mad at him for that. If he's going to allow that, if the brother's going to allow that, then that's on him. But regardless of that, if she's that afraid, he should be there to comfort her.
True.
And not allow
Look what's
the
happening.
brother. He's not being, quote unquote, the man in the situation, in my opinion.
Well, we'll see how that plays out for Mikey. Poor guy.
Oh, and you already talked about when Mikey goes straight to the waterfall.
Yeah.
The music that starts to play.
That's right.
Not right when they see not right when they see the coins, but right when they see the waterfall for the first time. It's harp music, I think.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a harp.
Harp, yeah. And then, of course, when we get into the next minute, we're going to hear one of the new themes in the movie that we haven't heard so far. One of the cooler pieces of music, I think. Right. But that is going to be on Monday, which is minute 60. So we are going to be officially 1 hour into this movie. Be here for minute number 60. That's going to be Monday. Chris, you ready to get out of here?
That's all I have.
All right. Well, this is Brady.
And this is Chris.
And we're here to remind you that Goonies never say die. Goonies Minute is a fan-supported podcast. If you like the show, then leave us a review on iTunes. You can find us at GooniesMinute.com, Facebook.com/GooniesMinute, Twitter.com/GooniesMinute, and at Instagram at GooniesMinute. You can contact us at GooniesMinute@gmail.com. You've been listening to a Pele Media podcast. For premium content and exclusive podcasts, visit us at patreon.com/PeleMedia. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/PeleMedia and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/PeleMedia. Is that not a phrase? Cheers? I cheers you? I toast?
But that is cheers. Can you use it as like a
verb?
verb? Like cheers?
We will now.
I mean, you can't like she cheers.
Yeah. Not the same. Hey, forget it.